With the path cleared for the Rajasuya Yagna, Yudhishthira extends invitations to the mighty rulers of Bharatavarsha. Swift messengers mounted on gallant steeds race across vast landscapes, carrying golden scrolls adorned with the royal insignia of Indraprastha. Through lush green valleys, across roaring rivers, over towering mountain ranges, and into the scorching deserts, the invitations spread like the call of destiny. Kings and emperors read the sacred summons with reverence. Yet in the kingdom of Chedi, one invitation ignites a storm of fury. Sisupala, the mighty but vengeful ruler, unrolls the scroll and finds the name that haunts him, Krishna. A slow-burning rage ignites in his eyes, his grip tightens. His fingers crush the delicate parchment as his heart pounds with hatred. The torches in the grand hall flicker as if sensing his fury. That cowherd at the Yagna, he seethes. This is an insult beyond measure. Long before fate brought him to this moment, Sisupala's destiny was sealed at birth. His mother, Queen Srutashrava, trembled as she beheld her newborn. 3 piercing eyes glowed from his face, and 4 arms moved in eerie synchronicity. The royal court gasped. Was this a divine blessing or a terrifying curse? Priests whispered of an ancient prophecy. "O Queen, fear not. When the child is placed in the lap of the one destined to end his life, his form shall become normal." Then came the fateful day. A young Krishna, visiting the palace, held the infant in his arms. A golden aura enveloped the child, and before the astonished eyes of the court, his extra limbs dissolved into shimmering light. The queen, tears brimming in her eyes, fell at Krishna's feet. "Spare my son, O Govinda," she pleaded. Krishna, with his serene smile, nodded. "I shall forgive him, but only for 100 offenses. Beyond that, destiny shall take its course." As the years passed, so did the fire in Sisupala's heart. His hatred for Krishna grew with every tale of the Yadava prince's triumphs. He clenched his teeth when Krishna defeated his allies. He seethed when Krishna took Rukmini, the woman he had desired. He swore vengeance. And so, when the invitation to the Rajasuya Yagna arrived, a sinister smile twisted upon his lips. At last, he murmured, a chance to humiliate him before all of Aryavarta. The Rajasuya Yagna begins. Kings and warriors gather in a grand hall, golden chandeliers illuminating the sacred ceremony. The moment arrives. Who among them is most deserving of the first honor? Bhishma, the great elder, rises and proclaims, "None is greater than Krishna." The court erupts in applause, but not everyone is pleased. Sisupala leaps to his feet, his voice echoing through the hall. "A cowherd honored over warriors? This is a mockery." He points at Krishna, his words dripping with venom. The court falls into silence, shocked at his audacity. Krishna, ever patient, remains calm. For the 100th time, Krishna remains silent. But then Sisupala sneers, "Tell me, Krishna, will you also marry Draupadi away too, just as the Pandavas did?" The hall gasps in horror. The line has been crossed. Krishna's eyes, calm like the ocean, now shine with divine fire. Krishna speaks, his voice unwavering. "I have tolerated enough. Your time is over, Sisupala." He lifts his hand. In a flash, the Sudarshana Chakra appears, spinning with divine energy, glowing like the sun itself. In an instant, the Sudarshana Chakra moves. Swift as lightning, it slices through the air. Sisupala's head is severed before he can react. His body collapses. But as he falls, something miraculous happens. His soul, glowing with divine light, ascends into Krishna, merging into him. With Sisupala vanquished, no one dares to challenge Krishna's divinity. The Rajasuya Yagna is completed, and Yudhishthira is declared emperor. But in the shadows, Duryodhana's jealousy festers, setting the stage for the greatest war of all time. the Mahabharata.